You know, what we've tried to do as of late, we've had to try to practice in the sense of where it's a lot of 11 on 11, to play football, in other words. You know, in certain periods where we would have 7 on 7 periods, we kind of made that a team-oriented period where it's run, draw, play, action, pass, down and distance, make more periods, 11 on 11, make it more competitive. I think that's how you play the game of football, and I think you grow as a team playing that way too. You know, we want to be situation aware, and I think players have to be put in those situations. So the more team situations you can put them in, I think is important, and I think they're starting to grasp that a little bit. It's more competitive when you have 11 on 11. By the way, it gives you a great chance to evaluate quarterbacks, because we've been trying to do that. You'll see a couple of the quarterbacks will get some reps with the first team. That's done purposely, just to see where they're at and where they're developing. So that's kind of been the mindset the last couple of practices, and we'll continue to do that the last 3.
How much was your message about roster evaluation you feel like received by the team this last week?
I mean, you know, I discussed that last week, and I think the team was well aware of what I was talking about. I talked about it when I first got here. They didn't catch anybody off guard. So I've discussed it. It's on record what I said. We just move on. We'll continue to have competitive practice, which I think is important. These guys have done a good job. It's kind of ironic. Mike Haynes, former, obviously, Arizona State great, came out to practice a week ago, and he came out tonight. And he comes to me after practice. He says, "It looks like a whole different team in a week." And I said, "Well, they're starting to learn what's going on." So I thought that was a good note from him to a guy that's seen a lot of football in his lifetime, to make that point. And I actually had to come over and tell the defense that, say, tell the defense what you just told me. So we were out here a week ago, and I introduced you to the whole defense. And some of these guys didn't know who Mike Haynes was. You know who this guy is? I said, "Really? This is Mike Haynes." You know, I said, "He used to play. He has one of those nice jackets that a lot of people don't get." So when he walked up tonight and talked to him, they knew exactly who he was. So it was good to see him, obviously, again.
Was he a peer of yours?
Oh, we played against each other. Yeah, same era. Yeah, same era. Fantastic player when he was with New England, and then he went to Oakland with the Raiders. And he was a great guy. I've known Mike for ages, so it's always good to see him. Fantastic guy.
You talked in the past about the process of going from learning the scheme to having it be second nature.
Yeah.
I know that's essential. In your experience, how long, is there like any sort of way of gauging how long that kind of takes?
Yeah, every player is a little bit different, but I think especially defensively, you know, offensively it's a lot of the same. I think what you'll see a little bit different, if you guys have noticed, quarterback's under center. Probably more than you anticipated, and he is, and I think that's a little different for them. But other than that, I think, you know, it's not as much volume, probably. Maybe some of that is cut out of it. Defensively, you know, you're trying to learn a defense. You're trying to understand how the coach teaches you, position-wise. That takes a little time, but I think from the start of practice to right now, I mean, when we started, this is the 12th practice, you've seen improvement. You know, and that's not even talking about the fundamentals and the things that are required to play the position. So all these things are improving, and that's a good sign for the players that they're really concentrating and working on this. One thing to take it from the classroom is another thing to apply it on the grass when you're competing. They're doing a better job of that.
So do you think that by, you know, the middle of August or late August that will be there to your liking?
Well, I think what we'll find, and this is what you're hoping happens, as the season progresses, we got to get better. You got to get better, and you don't know until you really play. I mean, when you start playing games, and you start game planning, and you start putting players in position of strength of where they're going to play. Because remember, just like offense, there's going to be 25 guys probably on defense that are going to get the majority of the reps when we start the season. Offensively, it's probably the same thing if it's that many. So, you know, once we determine who those players are, then we got to fit them in the scheme, and and fit them in position where they can play to their talents. That's the whole key, and that's what we're trying to find out. And we got 21 more guys coming in here that we haven't even seen yet. So it's kind of, it's fun that way, because we're going to get a new group of guys coming in, and we can figure out where they fit. So that'll be fun. That all gets orchestrated.
I know it's a very thin running back group.
Ooh, it's thin.
But on that note, Traylon Smith, probably encouraged to see him step out with the
Yeah, and I told him, I said, hey, you know, him and Cosgrove, I said, well, this is tough sledding, man, because we know who Eno is. I'm trying to rest some guys, as you'll see in practice, but I just said, you know, there's help along the way. And they said, when are they coming? I said, the problem is not coming until like we start over again. You guys got 3 more practices, and so it even makes it tougher in the fact that, you know, when you go under center, I mean, all of a sudden it's a different offense. You know, when you play spread, well, okay, you can throw it around the yard a little bit, you know, but going under center is like, oh, we got to run the ball. We only got 2 running backs, by the way, so it's been fun.
Going into your last week, just is there anything specific you want to accomplish these last 3 practices?
Well, I think for us to know that we've improved. I mean, that's the whole key, and we've taken little steps, and I think players have improved, and that's what you want to see. You want to see players having confidence in what they're asked to do. We've thrown a lot at them, obviously. The good thing is we want to know how much they can absorb. Then when we start over again, we'll know where we're at, and then we can start putting players in position to actually, okay, this is what you're going to do. This is what's going to be required of you when we play this defense. And so that's the fun part about it. And I think the players they're starting to grasp it too. What happened tonight was a good thing. You know, we started off a team period, the defense got after them and got an early jump on them, and then, you know, what I wanted to see was the offense come back, and they did. And that's a good thing. That's when you know practice is good. You don't want it one-sided. And there's sometimes it's one-sided, and it's like, this is not good. And, you know, the problem is tonight now, I'm going to sit up here with these coaches. We'll be here until around, I don't know, 12. And one room is going to be mad, and the other room is going to be happy, right? And so I know the sad room this week. Last week, the sad room was the defense. This week, the sad room is going to be a little bit the offense. So I got to go over there and rub them on the back and say it's going to be okay. You know, it's just, they're worse than the players, these coaches, but it's part of it. We get it.
At one point you said the spring game is going to be a little bit different. Can you give any details on that?
You know, it's going to be a little bit partial of practice, obviously, some things we do, but then it's going to be a little bit of a part of the game. And as I said, we're going to select 4 students that have been selected that will actually be an offense and a defensive coordinator for both teams, and they're going to actually call a series of plays. So they'll come in next week. We'll bring them in. We'll let them sit there and we'll say, okay, these are the 5 or 6 offensive plays. You actually get the call. This is how you call them. Defensively, these are the coverages you can call. And we're going to play a game. They're going to be the coordinators.
ASU students.
Yeah, ASU students. Yes, ASU students. They're going to be the offense and the defensive coordinators. You know, everybody, you know, hey, we all sit here. We all go watch a game, and everybody thinks they're the coach. Well, guess what? You get to be the coach. You call the play. You want to make it easy? Hey, you got 30 seconds to make a decision. You make a decision, I'll call it, man. You know, and so I think it'll be a lot of fun. And the players are, they're aware. They're like, here we go. So we're going to let them call the game. Let's see what happens. That'd be interesting.
How did you guys select them?
That was out of my hands. They went through something. I don't know how they're doing that. Yeah, okay. So it's, and when I first got here, I said, you know, they asked me about the spring game. I said, why don't we do this? I said, why don't we get some students involved in this and, you know, and let them have some fun there. So they'll be on television, call their names out. The moms will be watching, the dads. It'll be a wonderful thing.
So it was originally your idea to do something like that?
Oh, yeah. I thought it would be fun to do that. You know, it'll be fun.
What do you make? There's been a lot of national attention since you took over this program. It's only the spring.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of interest in whether or not this works or doesn't work. What do you make of that?
I don't make a whole lot out of it. I don't even pay attention to it. I mean, I don't. You know, once I leave the press conference and talk, I know nothing. I don't pay attention to it. I think, you know, obviously, where I come from, television, and that brings a little bit of notoriety to the situation. It's a new model. I'm excited about being a part of it, but it's still football at the end. We got to play football. We got to win football games. And how do you go about winning football games? We're trying to build a program here that's going to be competitively consistent. And that's the whole deal. And we said that when we first arrived. And I think for the most part, what I enjoy is the players and the coaches. I'm invested in that. You know, what's great for me is my family's not here. They're not here. They're still in California. So, I mean, I'm in this building 7 days a week. I'm here every day. And on the weekends, I generally go watch one of our competitive teams play. You know, last Saturday, I was at the softball game. I mean, I come in here, watch some tape, do what I got to do on Saturdays, and then go out and watch one of our events or something. So it's, you know, I'm invested in this. I wanted to do this. You know, and I know there's a lot of work involved in it. Yes, there's going to be a little bit more said about us because, you know, I'm the coach and kind of people know who I am. I guess I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's about football. It's about this university. It's about the players. It's not about me at all. It's about this university at the end and what we're trying to accomplish as a football team.
4 weeks in the books. Are you starting to see any kind of collective personality traits for your team emerge?
Yeah, well, they're an emotional bunch. And what I try to get them to understand is that emotion is good, but you got to control it, and you can't be a roller coaster with emotion. And I think sometimes, you know, in this game of football, you get so emotionally spent that it can go either way. It can turn against you. You know, and I'm a big person that believes in this. How do you handle success? You know, when you're playing good and you have a good play, how do you handle that? Do you jump up and down and say it's about me? And I'm going, well, you don't really need to do that because a person that's used to success, that's just who you are. Don't act surprised. You know, don't be surprised. That's how you should play. And so I just think, you know, those are the things that when you look at a team, you try to make sure they're having fun. But hey, guys, that's what it should look like. When you do things good, don't be surprised. Don't act like, oh no, that's who we want to be. You know, whether it's on offense, defense, or special teams. So that's the fun for me of it. You know, I've always told players, I said, look, when you do something good, I'll talk about you. I'll tell everybody how good you are. You don't have to do a thing. You just go back to the next play and play. That's my job. I'll come before the media and tell them, hey man, that guy did a great job. You don't have to jump up and do twirls and stuff. I'm going, act like you made a good play before. It's like, it's the first time you ever made a tackle? I'm like, really? I mean, so, you know, and I get it, you know, players get excited, but when you do it within the framework of the team. Just do it in the framework of the team. And never try to embarrass your opponent. This game's not about that. It's never been about that. So I'm real big on stuff.
Any of those guys to talk about that have kind of jumped off the page?
Yeah, you know, I'll wait. I kind of wait till it's all done. You know, I don't like to call one or two guys out because, you know, everyone listens to what the coach says. And you pick one guy, then you go, I did good too. You know, I'll get in all that. It's a team at the end. And all we're doing is practicing. You're supposed to practice. How you get better. I mean, we haven't played a game yet. I mean, until we start playing and competing, I just leave all that stuff alone. Just keep getting better every day. That's all I want guys to do. Just come out and get better.